So today we've got another set of SBCs. We've had some ups, some downs, and some absolute must completes. Let's run straight through them. Obviously, some have departed this time round. We've got Jota gone, and we've also got St. Max gone as well from the first week. But we have got a very strange one in end of an era Varane. Now, I wasn't expecting him. I did see him pop up as a leak, and to be honest, I thought that he was going to come later on. And I mean, he's a great card. He reminds me very much of Blanc last year as one of the first centre-backs to come in as an SBC and think, okay, it could work. He could definitely work. Now, the big thing that we've got at the moment, and it's not only just him, because we also have two other French Serie A SBCs that are absolutely massive. So we also then have the likes of Thuram. If you need coins in FC25, lootbar.gg has you covered. They are the cheapest trading platform on the game, 8 to 10% cheaper than any others, 8% off if you use the code JT11 at the end at checkout, plus you get 5% extra on coins, with the fastest delivery system going, used by many FC25 creators such as Zorki, Manny Plus, and even pro owners. So if you need any coins, head over to lootbar.gg, make sure JT11's in the promo code, and hopefully you enjoy. And also Thuram. So we have got a great, perfect link going on here if you are building a Serie A squad, let alone then having Godfrey as well as another Serie A player. There is a lot of decent talent there. Now, the big thing as well with the two Thuram brothers is the fact that their dad, I want to say it is their dad, I'm pretty sure, is actually in the game as well. We have got Lillian in here at 1.6 million for a right back. So Thuram, and Thuram, as well as Varane, are absolutely nuts. Now, the only thing I do want to check is what other top-end French players are in the Serie A, because it could be a French Serie A masterclass going on. I don't think there's many other than Mignan and also Teo. He's still 444,000. Wow. Is there anybody else on this level? I don't remember there being. Pavard at an 84, no thank you. Obviously Thuram, we've got a few English in there. I think that is pretty much it without there being like a massive evolution or anybody that transfers in. I think, yeah, Fofana, he gets a decent upgrade eventually, but it's not going to be anything right now. So these SBCs are going to be worth looking at a minimum. If you've done Varane, I think the two Thurams are definitely worth doing. Now, the problem with Varane personally is the price is slightly high. 400,000. I think you've got an 80, what is it, an 85, or is it start? Yeah, 85, 86, 87, 88 to do. Now, if this was just a week, I could probably say that's far too expensive, because in a week, realistically, what SBCs have we got to actually do? We get some more upgrades today at 6 PM. Other than that, there's not really any upgrades. You've got a few daily SBCs. That's not going to get you enough for an 88 rated team. You have the gold upgrade, which again is very hit and miss. And then buying packs. They are literally the only ways at this point that you can get a lot of fodder. It's not necessarily easy fodder, but that's the only way. Buying packs or getting coins to buy the players specifically is the only way that you could do it the quickest at this moment in time. There's no exchange, there's no massive upgrades, there's no exploits that you can use to get lots and lots of cards, so it is pretty much just grinding it out to get this done. But the big thing with him is the fact that you have got a month to get him done. He's there until the 5th of November. So I can kind of understand that if you've got roughly we're on the 7th. You've got a whole month to grind this out. We're going to have multiple promos, multiple upgrades, multiple SBCs. I know we're going to get multiple SBC players as well, so, and gamble SBCs, I can imagine. I think a hero has already been added. So you've kind of then got to prioritize him. The one thing I will say is I love the card design. Card design is excellent. That's going to be the problem when evolving him. I want to go back to that card design. Hopefully they do add that as they said they would. But I do think he's worth it. Now, I don't know. He's a hard one because I think he is a must complete. I really do. In terms of the card itself, there's going to be very few centre-backs that you could either buy or complete that are going to be on that level from now. in a month's time, it could be completely gone. There's going to be lots and lots of cards. Like, we look at Virgil, obviously number one. You look at, we'll get rid of the hero and icons because their pricing is massive. Like, Lucio's 1 million coins. Of course, he's going to be the one of the best centre-backs for 1 million coins. But you look at Rudiger at 160. You look at then, like, the likes of Saliba. You look at Militao. If I can just get the gold versions, that would be fantastic. So, in terms of pricing, you've got Saliba at 227, you got Rudiger at 160, Militao at 130, Arejo, Koyunde, Van der Ven, an 82 at 65, even Tomori at 40 as well. They are on that sort of level. Varane does have a playstyle plus as well, which is always perfect. He's got a roll plus as well. So, he adds himself into that category of you can grind him out, so he's going to be more expensive. On the market, it'd probably be about 150 to 200, maybe even arguing into Saliba's price at 220 to 250. So you've always got to have a little bit more on that SBC, so that's fair enough. I can kind of get behind that, and he's got a month. The two Thuram brothers have, for me, have got to be done. Like, these two, especially if you have done Varane or going to do Varane. You've got the centre mid Thuram coming in at a whopping 60,000 coins. Perfect. He's not necessarily excellent in one position. He's great across the board. 80 on the pace, 81, 81, 84, 83, 85. 3-star, it's probably the only thing that goes against him at the moment. Now, if you are thinking potential upgrade, he could go to an 87. He's obviously got to win 3 matches with Juventus, score 1 goal in 4 games in the league. Juventus have to, not just specifically him. That would be a little bit of a task. And then come top 2 if they can. So at least we should see 1 or 2 upgrades on him, taking him to an 87, which I think is well worth it. Maybe then we see an evolution to get a weak foot upgrade, a skill move upgrade. That is going to be what really this card is all about. I think it's a fantastic deal. I can imagine, as we know, a lot of people are going to go for the anchor, controlled lengthy, 84, 89, 90. For 60,000 coins in the centre mid at this point, that is a fantastic value. And for me, is an absolute must complete. And we did talk about Thuram last week, the striker version now. He's coming in at 23,000 coins at an absolute minimum. That is got to be done. Like, 23,000 is an absolute steal for a card like this. Decent striker, 3-star, 4-star, again could do with the upgrade, but we are looking at a very bog standard start anyway. Unless you're spending a crazy amount of points, this is the levels of a starter squad in the making. So it may not be an elite division-esque sort of card, but to start the game, you've got to take your hat off and think, okay, I'm not going to afford Eusebio on the first month. That is just not going to happen. Whereas getting that little starter striker, the club legend in your team, is going to be worth it. Now moving on to one that I think is a little bit overpriced. It is a shame for him because I think he is a phenomenal card, but Nico Williams. And to be honest, we'll throw them both in because I think they did a double miss in my opinion. You've got Nico Williams coming in at 600,000 points. Now, yes, he can get the double upgrade, so realistically, he can get to an 88. That's fair enough, and more than likely, they will do. So that's something you always got to take into consideration. The Rapid Plus is still there. We've got that on the 85. He is a 5-star, 4-star still, same as the 85. We're now looking at 109,000 for his gold card, and then we're looking at 600,000 for the upgrade. Now, if he does get the +2, say we go on the basis that he gets a +2, I think they are very close. I'm pretty sure they need one more win for the first upgrade, and I want to say they've scored in every single one of their games, so they should potentially get the double upgrade in the next match if they do win it. Which realistically, say we go in for just a bog standard double upgrade on everything. 96 on the pace, 78 shooting, 82 passing. I'd say they'd go, to be fair, they probably will go 90 dribbling and 68 physical. It's decent, but is it 600,000 coins? I think for me, if I'm sitting here and saying that, yes, Haaland is an unbelievable player, but is he worth the 700,000 value that he's got here? It's a hard one for me to say that he should be worth it, in my opinion. I really think he's one that should have been cheaper. If we was looking 300 to 400 with a double upgrade expectation, I could kind of be understanding there, but with the amount of SBCs that will come out, trying to complete an 88, an 87, well, 2 87s, 2 86s, or 3 86s, is just a little bit expensive in my opinion. I really think he should have been better, but unfortunately he isn't. And then we go to the first miss that they had that day is Yamal. 240,000 coins. I mean, I get it. He's a youngster. He's obviously going to be great for an evolution if he doesn't get another card sooner, but he will do. He's absolutely on fire. When you've got his 84 coming in at 50,000 coins, and I get that the SBC's there a month, very much like Varane. For me, I just don't think it's a hit. Obviously, his 81 is going to have the ability to evolve quite a lot. At the minute, we've only got one evolution for him. But when you look at the difference between the inform and his player of the month, you're looking at 2s across the board, 3 on the defended and physical. For an extra, 170, 180,000 coins. I just think he should have got at least a skill move upgrade for that to happen. Doesn't have a playstyle plus yet, so again, that's going to be a big concern for him straight off the bat, that you're paying that much more. I might as well wait for the next one. So again, for me, it's a little bit cheaper of a value compared to Nico Williams. Obviously, as well, he is there for a little bit longer, so I give him that little bit of credit, but realistically, that is kind of all the credit he's getting. He's got an extra 14 days on top of Nico. I'd say Yamal, he'd be an SBC storage, but I think for me, again, I've got the inform very luckily. I'm going to say don't complete. It's a shame, but I think he is one of them ones. He will get another upgrade as well. That's kind of the big thing that I'm going with here, is the fact that he will be upgraded again. More than likely gets another player of the month, another inform, another special card. He is guaranteed to get that. Then we have Godfrey. Going back to a few of the cheaper options, we've got Godfrey coming in at 35,000 coins. Nice centre back. Again, very bog standard, but if you are looking at that lovely quadruple link now we've got between Varane, Thuram, and Godfrey, could potentially get another double upgrade. Whether they do is going to be the big question. So you've got to kind of take it with that pinch of salt. Do you take him as an 85, or are you looking for an 87 here? Has the possibility for evolutions on centre-back, left-back, and right-back, which will be nice in the future, especially if he doesn't get any upgrade right now. Again, another card that I think is cheap, cheerful, and is definitely going to strengthen that side. If you think you could get a very nice, bog-standard team for, 600,000, give or take, with all of these, 60k, 20k, and 35, you're looking just over 600, with Varane being 400. I think that's pretty decent, to be honest. SBC valued card, 2 of them potentially could go up. You've got a very good centre-back in Varane, striker that potentially hits an evolution as well. I'd say that's absolutely solid. Squad foundation cards, again, are going to be very much bog standard, nothing crazy. They are predominantly going to be based around fodder cards, or at least just at the moment doing your world tour, because you need 3 of them in 20 matches, and then pretty much they are just there for either evolutions, maybe, or then just fodder later on down the line. We did get the Barclays Women's League in the Foundation Objective, and we got Salmon as the 85 striker coming in at 21,000. We then have Berghuis at 26. We have then the Spanish striker at 21, 9k for Watt as a American striker, and then we've also got the Spanish centre mid Cam, brilliant on free kicks I might add, at 30,000 coins. Now I don't think any of them get into your team, more than likely objectives, and that's about it. So for me, they would just be SBC storage. Any 82s, 3s and 4s would just go into there if you've done everything else, in my opinion. We do have the World Tour cards still. Obviously, we've got Danjuma and also Garcia. We've still got a fair few days left for them, so I believe they end when the season does end as well, so they will keep going for a little bit. I think both of them are, again, very good options that you can go with. Garcia obviously being a very good centre mid, and also Danjuma being a very nice starting striker. Now, I don't know if I'd go Danjuma and Thuram together in the same. I would potentially like to get like a Peugeot, somebody with a playstyle plus, or somebody of a higher caliber, just to strengthen that side up, but they are still very much worth having a look at the absolute minimum. Lo Celso being another one in the Champions League, or the road to the knockout, in fact, that obviously has come out. He's coming in at 50,000. Again, a pretty solid card. I don't know if I'd say must complete, but if he was an 87, I think that would be pretty fantastic for him. But I do think he's more decent value than a must complete in this scenario, which leads us to Haaland. Now, I know I saw a lot of comments last week with him that people say he must be a must complete because how good he is. I agree with the sentiment on him, and I do think in terms of if you do have the fodder, he is a must complete, 100%. Like, if you've got that fodder and you're not putting it into anything else, then why would you not? But I don't think he is a must complete in terms of you shouldn't go and fork cards out for him. We're going to get icons. We're going to get gamble SBCs that are expensive. As SBCs this year, for the top cards, we've already seen with an 87 Varane coming in at 400. They are going to be expensive. So unless you have either a fodder way that I don't know about, you either buy packs already that are just on that next level, which is fair enough. Do what you need to do. I don't think he's worth doing. I would much rather go and buy the gold for 172,000 coins. The SBC is great because you don't have to spend any coins, but the value that you're going to get for the gold card is going to be more in the effective price budget compared to putting all that fodder in. It's a lot of cards to put in for an SBC. The only time early on that I would think about doing an SBC of that sort of magnitude would be an Mbappe. Because realistically, Haaland, yes, will probably last you a considerable amount of time this year. He seems to be very good. I've got his gold card. He is a very good striker. But Mbappe would last so much longer. I think Haaland eventually will be just completely eradicated and you'd need the next version up. More than likely as well, he's going to get another one. And I would much rather go for the next upgrade that potentially has that bigger upgrade for me. Whether we see a double playstyle plus on him, whether we see a skill move or weak foot upgrade on him, that's going to be where I personally would go for this Haaland. I don't think this version is worth doing at this point, especially with the big SBCs, an 88, an 87, an 87 and an 86, plus the cheaper ones. For me, I just think he's that little bit expensive, and it's not a problem. I'm not saying that he shouldn't be. We saw it with Ronaldo on the first player of the month a few years ago. Over 1 million coins on the first player of the month is just crazy, but I just can't see myself going out and buying him for that sort of price. I just think it's a little bit expensive. So he will stick with that don't complete. If you do have the fodder for him, don't get me wrong, I think he is incredible. If you can afford him, he is worth it. But I wouldn't go out my way to do him, in my opinion. But leave your opinions on the comments down below. Hopefully we get some big SBCs coming in, and I believe a gamble SBC is coming very shortly. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.